Hello, welcome. I am Dr. Renee Sunday. I am your favorite Southern girl. You know I am the platform builder, and you're listening to Good Deeds Radio. We just love you, love you, love you. We just thank you for supporting us. I'm just so excited that you guys are downloading our podcast. You're listening to us via social media, and you're also even on YouTube and our website. So we thank you so much for your support. You are not listeners. Guess what? You're our family. And so we appreciate us here at Good Deeds with all the things we do from the radio, TV, and the magazine, that we're part of your family. And you know you're part of our family. You know, we have a fabulous, fabulous young lady. But let's real quickly get to the question of the day of this session for Dr. Renee. The question, and it's so funny, you know, it's always something that gets me out of my comfort zone, if you will. But I'm going to keep it 100, as the kids say, but I'm going to be transparent and authentic. The question actually goes along with what I just said a little bit. The question my team just handed me, and they love to hand it to me, right? But, you know, that's the way we do it, because I want to make sure I'm true. I want to make sure I am authentic and have that compassion. The question is, Dr. Renee, what do you do when you feel that way, uncomfortable? You feel like you may be in a box and you can't get out. You know, the walls are coming closer, 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 and things are not working out how you have planned. You know, you did plan A didn't work. Plan B, and you on plan E or F. That was kind of the scenario of the question. Of course, me and the young lady had a long conversation. But pretty much what I do is I have learned, and that's the key. I'm going to say that a couple of times. It's best to make sure my perspective is right. Because if you have the wrong perspective, guess what? I may, and I'm going to say may, respond the wrong way. Because you have a choice of responding one way or the other way, or not responding at all. And so I have learned to step back, to center myself, right? Center myself and meditate that I can actually make the right decisions. Now, I'm not going to say I'm perfect, because I know I'm not. Sometimes I do make a mistake. But what I have learned is apologize. I go back and say, I'm sorry. I go back and say, how can I make this better if I have made a mistake? But there's so many things in life, guess what? You cannot go back and turn the hands of time. That's the old song used to say. So be mindful, and I told her just a whole scenario of make sure we have the right perspective, because there's so many people in the world that's hurting. So many people don't know what they're doing the next second, not the next minute, the next second. So we need to respect everybody where they are. And we all are brothers and sisters. And as the old saying, it does take the whole village. So I pretty much had almost an hour conversation. But that's just it in a nutshell of the answer to that question. When I feel that something's not going right, I step back and make sure I have the right perspective. So do that. If you have a question, you know how to get in contact with us. Again, it's reneesunday.com. But we got to get to this amazing guest today. Lord, she ain't put me on another level before we could even start. Miss Lily Sanders, she's an author. She's a co-host. She's a coach. She's a speaker. But what I love about her brand, you know, I'm big on branding, and I love her website. She's going to tell us how to connect with her. But she says unlock the magic. You have magic within you to choose the creations you want. Now, see, that you is in there, not what's going on around you, to what you want to experience. You have to unlock it and walk a path of knowing. I just love that. One present step at a time. I love it. And she said, awaken your dormant potential. I was shouting on that. Because I love it, because we have to make some decisions, and we need to have guidance for that. And she's going to help us with that. And we want to welcome none other than the fabulous, the magnificent, and also the beautiful Lily Sanders. Are you there?
I am. Thank you so much for that introduction. That's so kind. Yes, yes. Unlock the magic, and we do. We all have it within us, and it's up to us to take that choice to unlock that magic that we have. And, yeah, there's a lot of potential inside of all of us that is still sleeping, and we need to awaken to, what our higher self is. And when we awaken to our higher self, we actually are able to serve others. And that's why we are here. We are here to love ourselves and express that love toward others. That's how we're going to change the vibrational energy on the planet, Dr. Renee.
I love it. I love it. You guys, put the seatbelt on. This is going to be amazing. Well, Lily, tell us this, because, of course, I didn't do justice in introducing you. Tell us more information about you and just things that's life-changing to other people that's happening in your life.
Okay, so you want a little background on me first, and then we could move forward from there.
Yes,
sure.
That'll be great.
Okay, great. So I was born in Connecticut and raised in the suburbs of New York. And in short, I was that little girl with dreams and aspirations, and some of which my biggest dreams were realized at by the age of 23, but not without hardship. I was raised with a domestically violent father, a very timid mother, depressed mother, and there were a lot of challenges to overcome. My father used to hit us, and it wasn't just hitting. We had a lot of, if you read Truth to Triumph, my book Truth to Triumph, I go into a little bit of detail, and it's pretty raw. And the mental and emotional abuse that we had gone through. So basically, my entire life growing up, I really have no happy memories. Basically, the legacy, most people get the China or the family business, and we got the beatings. So I really honestly, not to be a Debbie Downer, but no happy memories. However, I did have tenacity and drive, and I really always, what I wanted to do and be, I realized by the age of 23, I used ballet class as that was one place I was allowed to go outside of the home. I used that as my sanctuary. So dance and learning how to dance was my sanctuary. So with this tenacity and this drive, I pushed through, a lot of these challenges and overcame. And I became a professional dancer. An actress on stage was, kind of a triumph all in itself. So I wound up on Ed McMahon and Star Search. I don't know if you remember that show. It was one of the first competition shows that was ever aired on traditional TV, Star Search with Ed McMahon. Mm-hmm. So I danced on that. I know I was on a roll of auditioning, and then my next audition I also won, which was a really odd job. It was a 12-month contract as a showgirl dancer with Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus. So I lived on this little, my room was this little 3 foot by 6 foot room in this train car. There were 21 showgirls. I was showgirl number 13. And I did that for a year. That's a whole other story. I tell a little bit about that in Truth to Triumph. And then I wound up coming back, to Manhattan, and I really dove into heavy acting methods and different things, different methods that would work for me. And I wound up on stage working off-Broadway. And a lot of this was healing for me. From my past, but now here I am. I'm on the road to what I felt was my purpose at the time. Here I was performing, I was paying my rent, and all of a sudden, I took a 180 pivot onto what I call, in Truth to Triumph, the path left of center. That was being involved with 2 highly unconscious men, 2 marriages in a row. I had a child. Raising my child after divorce, building 3 successful franchises on my own, and I did it all behind a veil of silence. And that was not the Oscar, by the way, that I was dreaming of, Dr. Renee. I mean, when I was that little girl dreaming of an Oscar, I was not dreaming of that Oscar. I did not want to, did not want to hide something like that. So I always say that it took me not 1 but 2 tall buildings to fall on my head before having my awakening. And but in all seriousness, they were really all amazing life lessons that got me to exactly where I am today. And I am in a fabulous place in my life today where, as you see on my website and in my book, Truth to Triumph, where I help people overcome. It's been said that only the wounded can serve. And since there's not one person on this earth that has not been wounded, we are all capable of bringing healing to one another. And that is what I do.
Wow, that is so powerful. Let me step back a minute because I think, and I may be quoting the number incorrectly, but I think Jack Canfield said in The Secret, he said, and he refers to it all the time when he's speaking, that about, I think he said 98% or even 99% of the people in the world, not just the United States, but the world, have had an issue, a concern, something that they're not happy about in their past. And he said, just like you said, Lily, that we just need to not say we want to forget it, but we need to embrace that and actually move forward in what we were created to do, because we have some commonality there, that something has happened that we didn't want to happen maybe, or those type of things. But you're correct. But look, you said that the potential inside, the greatness inside, so many people, and we talked about this a little bit in the green room, so many people right now with everything's going on in the, the media, so much going on with you losing your job, you have to go to the shelter. You have to stand in these long lines that people ask all your personal business for you to get any kind of assistance. Insurance, I can even attest to that. My insurance went up $300 from 1 year to the next. What can we glean from you, from the experiences you have, and you teach us this every day with other people, of how we can recognize that we do have the potential, the greatness that you say that we have inside of us.
Okay. Well, so now when you talk about pain with all of us, and I don't know what the percentage of, I would say there's 100% of people that have experienced pain. In fact, I'm going to talk a little bit about that, and I'm going to talk a little bit about past pain. For myself, I honor my past pain as teachers in this life, and I know that in sharing the stories that I share in Truth to Triumph in my book, others can learn from it and apply some of these insights to their own unique situations. We all have our own story. But remember, Dr. Renee, it's not the added story that we're relating to. However, the commonality, as you put it, in our own unique pains around the globe, at whatever intensity that they may be, are all reminders that pain is not our individual burden. And I say this all the time in Truth to Triumph. I say this when I coach people. I say this in the content that I have all over the sites on the internet. Pain is not our individual burden. So, look, when you are not your experiences, we have to remember we're not our experience. We are independent, if you will, from any experience, any happening, and any event. So when we can see ourselves through the eyes of the soul and not see ourselves as part of an experience and not identify ourselves as an experience, this means letting go of all the labels, letting go of all the stories, everything that's ever happened to us then and everything that's going on with us now. We separate, if you will, who we are, the essence of who we are, the truth of who we are from any experience. We're independent from that. Now, once we learn how to do that, and that's what I teach people to do, once we can learn how to do that and start to begin living life through the eyes of the soul and seeing things through the eyes of the soul, much of everything that goes on in your situations really begin to take on a new light, and it doesn't really matter. There's two words that I say in Truth to Triumph that you should always remember. So what? I mean, who cares? Honestly, because these things really don't matter. In fact, you said that earlier. I think there was a discussion. You were answering a question to someone, and I completely agree. Perspective. Your perspective needs to be through the eyes of the soul. Then your perspective on everything in every life situation begins to look different, and that's going to come down to choice. And choice, I write in. I have this e-course called 7 Gateways to Triumph, and it pretty much underscores all the teachings in my book, Truth to Triumph. Now, one of those gateways is choice, because situations in our life, they may not always turn perfect, but the choice to have peace in the situation is always there. And if you have peace in a situation, then it truly is perfect. Does that make sense?
I love it. Wow.
You know, and when we have peace in a situation, then we are able to navigate through this life, through every single life situation with triumph, with flying colors. And that's what I say when I say, oh, so what? But then the other things don't really matter. They really, really don't. Because when it comes to, at the end of the day, we need to hold on to our truth, who we are, the essence of who we are, with grace, dignity, love, honor, respect for ourselves, and then toward others.
Wow, I just love that. Because the thing about it, to extend what you're talking about, is we have to have that perspective, but we can't let the things that's going on in the world affect our peace. And so many people... You, in fact, I use the word rob. Don't let anyone rob your peace. I mean, honestly, we can't let it rob our peace. And that also means that we need to stay in the state of love, always, constantly, 24/7. And it also means that we need to be in a state of forgiveness. And again, these are all things that when we come into presence, when we take that step of knowing, one present step at a time, we take those steps in love. We take those steps in forgiveness, and that's how we make those choices for peace in our life. And those people will kind of fall off the wayside. You'll find that the people surrounding you in your life are very loving, and those situations and those people that otherwise were bringing conflict and struggle in your life will no longer be there. Because honestly, love can't have hate, and it has no tolerance to hate. I remember many, many, many years ago, and I'm dating myself, but I remember listening to Maya Angelou, and I love Maya Angelou. I remember her saying, when someone had asked her a question about whatever kind of disrespect that was going on in the household, I remember her saying, she said, "Not in my house." And I loved that because, me being raised in a domestically violent home, I didn't even tell you actually the dirt and part of the reason why I wrote Truth to Triumph is that, all of those years later when I was when I found myself in domestic violence myself, where I was a battered wife, I was in such darkness at the time that I couldn't hold on to all of those things that mentors in the past I remember telling me. And one of the things that I raised my son today is, and he's already 20. I'm dating myself again, but when I raised him, it was really not in my house. You will not only do we need to teach our children to love, honor, and respect themselves. We need to teach our children to love, honor, and respect others. But that starts with self-love. That starts with self-honor, self-respect. And until we as an individual, as this spiritual being, if you will, in this human experience, can love and honor and respect ourselves, then we can't love and honor and respect others. And this is a really, really important key point that I talk about in Truth to Triumph. And I talk about generational blessings
and how we can release the past and create new generational blessings. And I talk about co-parenting, and, I elaborate on that, and I elaborate on guarding our thoughts, and so on and so forth. These are all things that are creating a better tomorrow. We need to really come to a place of consciousness. And I do believe that there's more good and more love going on this earth than bad. Unfortunately, we're still, we still see the drama on the news, and we still see all the pain and the suffering, and every time we turn on the television. But there's actually, we're turning that around slowly but surely with wonderful networks, that we see now on Gaia TV, on Oprah Winfrey network, all of those great love-driven networks that are showing positive transformation. I'm seeing that as the new today. And if we keep our hearts and minds set on all of the loving acts and all of the positivity, if you will, that is going on, and that we can continue to spread, we're going to be in a better place, I promise.
Yes, I'm seeing that as well, being in TV as well, that a lot of, they hesitant a little bit, but a lot of the shows have a wholesome, if I want to use that word, background or backdrop, if you want to call it that, we have to work together with this thing. And our number one way of communicating is through the airways, through social media, as we know. So we actually have to work together. I did mention earlier that it takes a whole village. It takes all of us. But I love how you said, Lily, that we have to have self-love, self-respect, and that energy will actually ooze out of your body to the next person and everyone that you meet. So, oh, my God, that was so powerful.
Oh, no, absolutely. I always say that, we have the power to remove karma and give the universe immediate command to unravel these karmic progressions. And this power comes from love. Love is the healing antidote for your inner child, for you, for the world. And we need to embrace that, that inner child with love, and then release all of the energetic debris. I call it energetic debris that needs releasing to clean your house. You are responsible to clean your own house, no one else. And so, I say to the listeners, restore your energy field. Everything else will fall into place perfectly, like perfect pieces to a magnetic puzzle, I promise. But these energetic pieces are designed to work for you and with you, inside of you and outside of you. They're quantum. And I always say, try not to understand it as human intellect or logic, because quantum love cannot be challenged. It just is.
I want to ask you this, Lily. Of course, we're going to have people go over to get your amazing publication and your different things that you're doing. But in regards of, as we said, most of the world, we're going to just say 100%, like you said, have had a past that may or may not have had love at all. And the thing about it is, are you familiar with any practical things that we can do to kind of move toward that direction? Because we know that it's a process. If you've never seen love, you've never experienced it, if someone come up to hug you, you think something's not right, or you step back, that may have been the environment that you grew up in. But what can we do as being in this amazing world, being in the United States of America, being in the different, countries that we're in, what can we do as being present right now that we can actually help ourselves, number one, and then also help someone else? Because I think a lot of people don't understand how to do it on the practical. And, of course, we need to get your book. We need to actually get your products and services. But is there any meditation, any type exercises that you do to kind of illuminate this in your own life?
Yes, yes. And remind me, because I have a practical tool that I'm giving all of your listeners today, a free ebook called Soul Bread, Daily Affirmations That Feed the Soul. So that's going to be a practical tool. But let me back up a little. The reason why I say 100% that have had experienced, or have had a lack of love in their life. Well, let me just rephrase that just so people understand. Many people, and you could talk to a lot of different people that help people in recovery. You could talk to psychologists, psychiatrists. Some very depressed people come from a seemingly loving, perfect home. So when I say that there's a lack of love, many times those are the people that are lacking self-love, and that is the most tragic. So, you can have someone that's coming from a domestically violent home like I did, or someone that was coming out of a shelter like someone else has, or someone that's come out of a foster home, or whatever the case. But then you also have that person that comes out of this, what looks like the perfect home. And you're thinking, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with her? This person has nothing to be depressed about. This person has nothing, but so what I'm saying is also there's that internal dialogue that goes on that sometimes people will believe, and which spins into, no self-love, no self-esteem, a lot of, and so on. So how can we reframe our minds to feel fulfilled and happy today, like you said, in this moment, and instead of seeking a happier tomorrow? We're always waiting for tomorrow to happen. Tomorrow is only made up of one substance, the present moment. I'm going to repeat myself to all the listeners. Tomorrow is made up of one substance, the present moment. And what do I mean by that? If you're managing everything in the best way that you can in the present moment, that is the best thing you can do for the happier or your happier tomorrow. So if there's love, understanding, happiness in the present, you will have love, understanding, and happiness in the tomorrow, in the future. So don't seek happiness. I say this in my book, Truth to Triumph, all the time. Don't seek happiness and fulfillment in the world of form, because it's not there. It's temporarily it is. In different things. You could be temporarily happy, but it is all impermanent. It's transient. They come and they go. Even happiness isn't permanent. That's why we need to practice happiness every moment of the day. And happiness is in the here and now. And there are enough conditions for happiness to be found in the here and now, in this present moment. We have a divine appointment to enter the here and now. And the question is, Dr. Renee, the question is to all of the listeners, are you ready? Because when we miss that divine appointment, we miss life. And so what I give as a practical tool, and please go to my website, lilysanders.live, and download for free Soul Bread, Daily Affirmations That Feeds the Soul. There are 12 practical affirmations. And I put this book of affirmations together so that people will have something practical to use every single day. And what I suggest in it is only 12. And what I suggest, and there are 12 biggies, is, I put this together so that everyone can basically give people positive and loving thoughts that will feed their soul. And the purpose of the affirmations and this book is to help others journey into their soul and feed it with nutrient-rich affirmations instead of all the garbage that we're reading and seeing on TV, the things that we see in our, outside of our energy field in situations and people and things around us. And these thoughts, these positive thoughts and these positive affirmations will invite you to enter into the realization that you truly are worthy of having love, of having abundance in every single facet of life. And so I'd like people to, use these affirmations as a powerful tool. And it's very practical. I always suggest choosing one affirmation a day and affirming it in the present tense. Present tense, that's important, as often as possible throughout the day. And I learned that from Louise L. Hay, saying your affirmations in the present tense. That's key. And you'll say that throughout the day. And also, you'll say the affirmations with conviction. almost like when you pray or when you're going to, to a healing. They're always with affirmations. They're always with conviction, with belief, strong belief that it's going to happen or that it already is, quote unquote, is. So when you have affirmed all of them, after you do one a day, then you go back and you reaffirm the ones you feel you have not really completely accepted as your reality. Those affirmations, yeah, okay, forgive. Yeah, okay, yeah, okay, I'm perfect. I don't believe it, but I'll say it. Well, those are the ones you want to go back and reaffirm. And I say this in Truth to Triumph, what we cognize, we become. And I truly believe that. So, the affirmations, which everyone should do as a practical tool every day is, an affirmation for love, to judgment, regret, discipline, doubt, trust, surrender, transition, grief, forgiveness, fear, and purpose. And those are the 12 big practical affirmations that I suggest people do every single day. Of course, there's so many other practical things, but starting with that positivity every morning and every night is powerful.
I totally agree with you because there are many others, but those are is stopping or trying to stop so many people. So, yes, we need to harness that. Yes, we need to download that right away, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Oh, wow. Lily, time goes by so quickly here, and you can talk all day and all night.
We can. We can.
But please give us anything that we may have missed. Please tell us how we can actually get your publications, and also in regards of your coaching, of all the things that you are doing to make this, just bring light to the world. And also let us know how we can support you as well on social media.
Oh, yes, wonderful, of course. Okay, so my book, Truth to Triumph, A Spiritual Guide to Finding Your Truth, of course, Amazon.com. It's available internationally, so everyone can go on Amazon.com and just plug in Truth to Triumph, Lily Sanders, and that will pop up. Also, if anyone in the U.S. wants a copy personally autographed by me, if they're that kind of person, no big deal to me. But, hey, you can go right to my website, lilysanders.live, LILYSANDERS.live, LIVE, lilysanders.live, and you can order it from there. But either way, I really urge everyone, go to my website anyway, because not only can you get the book, but then you could scroll down on the homepage and you can get the free ebook of affirmations I was talking about, Soul Bread, Daily Affirmations That Feeds the Soul. And basically you just subscribe, you just put your name, your email, and what you get is not just the download of Soul Bread. Then you will be it's a free subscription to Lily's e-notes and e-quotes. Basically once a week, once every other week. I do this in the moment. Whatever I sense that morning that needs to go out into the world, that's what I put as an e-quote or an e-note, and I just blast that out. So you want to get on that list because it's really it's very empowering, and it keeps you connected with what I feel. And where my heart is in that moment. So lilysanders.live. Also, encourage everyone to pick up a book of Truth to Triumph. If anyone wants to, if we have any time to talk further, but if anyone wants to book a speaking engagement, just go on my website, navigate around. I have pages on domestic violence on there. I have a great page on generational blessings, fear, stress, great page on health. I have another page on meditation and domestic abuse. But if you if anyone here is looking for any speaking engagements, which I just love to do workshops and speaking engagements for parents, students, teachers, what I do is I put together workshops and speaking for really creating a self-love culture, resilience building, fear-proofing, building confidence, reaching children of divorced parents, co-parenting, that's a big workshop. It's positive social and emotional transformation, that's a powerful workshop. Domestic violence prevention, home safety. But creating a self-love culture is really what it's going to all come down to. And a lot of what I do is that, and also I would like people to really, really avail themselves to also my media page, because there's a lot of insight, there's a lot of different things, like the show that you and I are doing right now, Dr. Renee. There's a lot of different topics on there, on just a plethora of topics. But the big thing that I do is I am a locksmith. When people ask, Lily, what do you do? Who are you? I'm a locksmith to the heart, and that's what I do. So anyone that's locked out of themselves, anyone that's locked out of love, anyone that's locked out and they're left out in the darkness, I am that locksmith that gets you back to home. And when I speak of home, and I say this all over Truth to Triumph, I speak of love.
Oh, wow. That is just so powerful. And Lily, you have that voice. And what I mean by that voice, you have that voice that people are drawn to your voice because you're so calm. You're saying some very life-changing things, but you're saying it in a way that we have peace and we want to actually embrace what you're saying. So, oh, wow, we just thank you.
Thank you.
We just thank you
so much.
Thank you so much. That's who you are. That's the great thing of you being in your purpose. Yeah, you're welcome.
I appreciate it. Can we invite everyone also, just they can go on my Facebook page, facebook.com is my Facebook is lilysanders.live as well. So that's, you don't have to memorize too many things. The same as my email, facebook.com/lilysanders.live. And you can also, my Instagram is .com/Lily_Sanders_author, and then my YouTube page. But you can get to all of my social medias via my website. So the one thing to remember is lilysanders.live. And then you can kind of navigate through that and then just go on to all my my social media from there. Make sense?
Yeah, I love it. I love Brandon 101, right? I love it.
That's right.
Oh, wow. Ooh, Lily, we just thank you, first of all, for being in your purpose. And we thank you for taking time out your busy schedule to be here with us at Good Deeds. If you need us for anything, please don't hesitate to contact us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This was really exciting and fun. And when you come to New York, we will have to spread the love together.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, you see she's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Oh, she's going to unlock you to the love that we're supposed to have, that we spread to the world wherever you go. Now, the replay will be up, very quickly, because I know you want to share this one. This is very powerful. But, we want you to know that you do have a calling. You do have a reason you were born. I'm going to say it with emphasis, so get ready. You're not a mistake. You're not. You're not a mistake.
No, I know. I love that you said that.
You have to do the three things that I say all the time. You got to believe, you got to trust, and you got to walk it out. That means you got to take some action because you can do it. It's okay to have someone else to help you. I have plenty of coaches, and I love to be around people that's going to empower and motivate and push me, not let me do what I want to do, okay? But if you want to actually know more about us here at Good Deeds, you know how to get in contact with us. Go to our website, which is reneesunday.com. Of course, that is www.renee, which is RENEE, Sunday, SUNDAY. If you want to be a guest on our radio or TV show, if you want your own radio show or podcast, we actually coaching you for that. And also you can have an opportunity to have a slot with the Good Deeds Media Network as well. We also have the magazine if you want to be a contributor. If you want to actually do, advertise or sponsorship, we have those available as well. Our publishing company, I love it. We do have a publishing company. We've been doing this thing a long time. We want to know, publishing company. But the thing about it is you need to get that out because somebody's waiting on you right now so they can actually breathe again. And also, if you're looking for a nonprofit organization that you can volunteer, you can donate, we have a 501c3. It's called Sunday Foundation, what we do is we help people, all our brothers and sisters, okay? The things we take for granted, which is food, clothing, and shelter. You know what we do, yes. And then also we have a mentorship program, a scholarship program, and we have a Shadow Me program. If you want to be a life coach, you'll hang out with a life coach. If you want to be a mechanic, we'll actually facilitate those and be a liaison that you can actually be in that element, be in that experience before you make that decision, because you may want to be that or you may want to be that plus something else. But we're all here to help you walk out your destiny. And I love you, but you know what? You know I'm going to say it somewhere in this broadcast. You got to don't stop. You got to what? You got to get it. And you know you have to get your purpose now. You know I am Dr. Renee Sunday, and you know this is Good Deeds. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.